In this video, we're going to look at an example from mini lesson 6. It's question number 2. And we're given this chart that has fractions, decimals, and percents. And we're given one of the values, and we need to write it in the other two forms. So first, I want you to notice there are percent buttons on your calculator. If you want to enter a percent, here's the percent symbol. And if you want to change a fraction or a decimal to a percent, you have this one because it says arrow percent, which means change to a percent. So let's look at the first example. So we have 32%, and I'm going to put the percent symbol. Remember, percent means per 100. Now I'm going to hit enter, and it gives me the decimal value for 32%. So as a decimal, this is 0.32. Now I'll just use this button to change it to a fraction, and it will simplify the fraction for me. And notice as a fraction, it's 8 over 25. Let's look at the next one. So we have 0.040, and this is our decimal form. So I'm going to start by changing it to a fraction. I like to do these forms before I go to percent. So I'm just going to hit this button, and it gives me that the equivalent fraction is 1 over 25. And now I'm going to have it change this to a percent. So this button is change to a percent. So it's going to take my previous answer. I'm just going to hit second in that button. And it gives me that this is 4%. And make sure you write your percent symbol on anything in the percent row. That's what makes it equivalent. So this is 4%. That's very different from 4. Now we have a fraction that we're given. So 3/4. And I'm going to hit enter. Oh, it gave me the same back. I want the decimal, so I hit the magic button, and we have 0.75. Now I'm going to have it change the decimal to a percent by hitting second, change to percent, and it is 75%. I'm going to skip this one. Let's look at 150%. So this is very similar to this one up here. It'll just have a decimal in the answer. Now 150% means 150 out of 100. So that's going to be bigger than 1 when we write it as both a fraction and a decimal. So I'm going to put 150%, and I'm just going to hit enter, and notice it changed it to a decimal, 1.5. And once I have it as a decimal, to change it to a fraction or a mixed number, I hit this button. So it gave me an improper fraction of 3/2. And this doesn't ask for a mixed number, so there's a mixed number. Let's just write both, because we can. And here I'll use this button to rewrite it as a mixed number. And we have this is also equivalent to 1 1/2. And now this last one, we have 1 3/7. So 1 is 100%. So this is going to be a larger than 100%. I'm going to start by changing it to a decimal. I'm going to hit enter. Notice it gave me an improper fraction, so I'm going to hit this magic button. And there is our decimal. So, not sure where the directions were. Sorry, I didn't include them. Why don't we go to 4 decimal places? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So to the right of the 4th decimal place is a 7, so I'm going to round up. And you should do what the instructions say. This is just a good rule of thumb. So this is 1.428 0.86, approximately. Now to change that to a percent, I'm going to hit second, change to percent, and we have 142, and now I'm going to put 0.86%, and I'm going to stop after 2 decimals, and let me write that out, and then I'm going to tell you why. 0.86%. So notice I rounded this to 2 decimal places, I rounded this to 4. Something important that's going to happen in a lot of your questions is they're going to say round your percent to 2 decimal places, or round your final answer to 2 decimal places. Well, if your final answer is a percent, you don't want to round the decimal to 2 decimal places, this version. So if we had done that, then we would have had this. That would be this round, the decimal rounded to 2 decimal places, and then our percent would be, oops, let's write it over here, 143%. And that's an okay estimation, but if you're asked to round the decimal or the percent to 2 decimal places, that means you're going to need 4 decimal places when you round the decimal. Okay. So you're going to need 4 decimal places so you can round the decimal to 2 decimal places. So watch out for that in the mini lessons. If your answer is a little bit off or the answer keys have more decimals than you, that's what you want to check on. Hope this was helpful.